Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. It is Monday morning, guys. What a day, man. What a day. We have kicked this day off with a bang to the upside, guys. We were live in the VIP Discord this morning for market open. We called for this move, but we did not take the trade like scared little girls on the school playground. I did not take the trade. I did tell everyone this is probably what was going to happen, just looking at market structure and the major market moves between Asia and UK overnight. But given the overall global macro, it really was a coin flip as to which way it goes. In fact, we're going to dive into that in just a few minutes. Let's see who's here. We got the lovely Jane, Max, what's up, dude? West Coast, John the Mod. I really got to look into that shield, bro. I'd like to get, I mean, it's your thing, but if I can figure out how to get that wrench back on there, I need to make a note. The wrench is just really cool. It looks like the shield is, I don't know. I like the wrench. Thanos, my main man, Hawkborn, yo. West Coast stayed out this morning. He gets wrecked on Newsday. Yeah, I lost $75, but we're up over $2,000 on the day already. So whatever, man, whatever. I knew better. I told you when I took the stupid trade, it was a bad trade. I knew it. But we had some 1 minute divs, and technically I was in profit like $60 before it went against me. But you know, I knew it was dangerous. I stressed that going into the stream. There's a poll in chat, guys. Hit up the poll if you will. Let me know what you think. Is this pump legit or is it a fake out? We've got the fractal. We're gonna take a look at the fractal. The fractal is still in play. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll let you check out the good t-shirt. All right, sorry about that. I had to reach up and handle something. So we're going to take a look, guys. We're going to dive in here in a minute. Hit up the poll. Let me know what you think. We're going to get into things. Here comes a flashbang. Cover your eyes. Don't cover your eyes. Just squint a little. Flashbang. We had news this morning. All 3 news reports, and I told you this morning in the VIP Discord for those VIP members that news was irrelevant today. All 3 of them came out bearish, and price did nothing but go straight up. Just irrelevant. The good thing about this, okay, so let's be real. War is short-term bearish, but it is actually, and go back, test me if you don't believe me, it is actually medium and long-term bullish, okay? Short-term bearish, medium, long-term bullish. So don't be surprised if this is a fake out, okay? A liquidity grab, a fake out, gap fill. We discussed this morning in the live stream. Let's go and take a look. Dow Jones. Let's go to the daily time frame. Dow Jones opened up with a big old gap to the downside. There was a gap from here to there, okay? There was a gap there. There was a gap there, believe me. Price opened. I don't know where price opened. Price open right here. There's a gap there. Yeah, almost did it. There's a gap there. Gap is filled. Let's look at the S&P. Gap is filled. There's another gap higher on these also from Friday. Between Thursday and Friday night, there's a gap to the higher. You can see this gap higher, so they could come fill this. They did not get it on Friday. There's still a gap up there, but they filled the gap from the open today. There was a gap. Let's see, you closed Friday here and you opened there. So all this was a big old gapola when it first opened, but it has been filled. So there's a gap higher. They can still come fill. So anyway, this was expected. When we opened up this morning on the VIP live stream, I told you this was expected, a gap fill. I just didn't take the trade because of the uncertainty with the overall global economic macro environment. But this was very much expected. Well, gap 1 filled. Gap 2 from last week not filled. Could they come fill that? Sure they can. Will they? Probably. But not necessarily today. It's already been a big move to the upside. But they could still come fill it, okay? They could still come fill it. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're looking, you're like, oh, well, shoot, the Dow is only showing, like, even. You're even right now. The S&P is even. Everything's even. What do you mean it's a big move? It's a big move because they started out so far down. It opened with a big old, like, almost 2% negative candle, right? So, while technically it's even, it's really about 2% up. So, that's a big move. It's not necessarily a big move for crypto, but that is a big move for traditional markets. We gave, let's go to the Discord. We gave and took, I got out way too soon, actually. We gave and took a Fetch AI trade this morning. I bought $70,000 right here. $70,000 worth of Fetch AI this morning. I bought, I was up $162 by the time I posted this in Discord, however, and I sold it about an hour and a half later. I sold it live on the stream for $2,100 profit. So we made $2,000 this morning like that on a little bitty itty bitty altcoin trade. I did get out way too soon. I should have made about 4, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. For where we are in the market, I'm expecting lower, so I'm happy making $2,000 in an hour. I don't know about you guys, but that's a pretty good first hour to start the morning off with. $2,000 profit, 1 hour. Now, where do we go from here? That's the big question. Okay, we've recapped what's happened. Where do we go from here? Is this pump legit? So, when the news dropped about the bombs, okay, everyone's like, oh my gosh, we crashed, Bitcoin crashed, Bitcoin. It really didn't do anything. Did it move down? Yeah, but if I were to say to you, hey guys, look at this chart. This is the daily Bitcoin chart. I said, tell me where the bombs dropped. Somebody tell me where if you didn't know the dates, I said, tell me where the bombs dropped just looking at price. You can't do it. You can't do it because you just came and bounced the triangle, right? Symmetrical triangle bounces. That's it. I mean, the bombs dropped here, but you can't tell it. It's just a bounce from the triangle. It's not like you crashed on down, right? You can't tell. So far, this news of war has been a big old nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. Fetch AI, we got out of that pretty good. Fetch AI moving back down. So far it's been nothing, right? Like nothing. It's like it didn't even happen. Now, we have broken out of this symmetrical triangle, and we did a little liquidity grab of this last high. So this is the second time we've broken out of this. Both times have thus far been fake outs and back down into the triangle. We're getting to close to the apex of the triangle, so we're expecting a breakout. I talked about this on yesterday's stream. We're expecting a breakout between Wednesday, no later than Thursday. I gave you the statistics on that yesterday, but we'll go over them real quick. We've been at, since we set the bottom, so we came in and set the bottom. That's where the triangle started to the apex is 38 days, okay? 38 days, and we are currently on day 24. Let's bring out the old handy calculator here. Currently on day 24, so 24 divided by 38. We are 63% through this triangle. Let me bring out the old stats here. We're at 63%, 92% of the time. 92%. Symmetrical triangles break out between 65 and 75% to the apex. We're at 63%. 70%, over 70% will be Thursday. So sometime before, either on Thursday or before. So sometime between now and Thursday, we're expecting a breakout of this. We called for this yesterday. We've been calling for this, but we specifically called for this yesterday. And I told you it'd probably be more like Monday, Tuesday, and we have broken out. Now, 87% of the time, the breakout is a fake out. Okay? We've been calling for this too, but I actually put statistics to it this time. I went back and did some back testing research. So if this is it, we would expect a fake out. Boom, boom, and probably much lower, probably down in here. First stop is here. We have more data to back this up. We've been looking for this play. Let's go to the fractal. I know you guys are tired of the fractal, but we've been looking for this play. We've been in this area now for 25 days. But since the cross, our monthly cross, I have it on another chart. Anyway, we've been down here for a few weeks, going on a month now down in this area. But we've been looking at this. I've had this fractal on here for months, plural. Okay, the fractal is from the 2022 bear leg fractal, and we're following it to a dang T. So we've been looking for this fake out breakout to the upside. Right here's where it happened, the blue lines in 2022. We've been looking for it to take out the highs. Are we coming to do that now? Are we just a few days? I told you we're running about 4 days behind on this fractal. And if that's the case, where are we at now? Day 1, 2. We're at day 6. So we were 4 days behind. Are we getting worse, or are we just not going to get there? I don't know yet. But either way, whether we take the high in 2018, we did not take this high, okay? We just did something similar to this and rolled down in 2022. We did this and came and took the high before rolling down. Either way, I think we rolled down. Not sure if we take the high or not. I was leaning towards nay. Now I'm leaning towards yay. We'll see. So either way, we are tracking this thing perfectly, and we are expecting lower prices, okay, guys? So do not – why is this thing still going off? Why is this going off? That's why I got to set to every time. Only once, and we already know. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I can't. There we go. Either way, we're expecting lower prices, okay? So I encourage you, and I could be wrong. I mean, this could be the bottom. It's really amazing. Are you looking around YouTube today? All these people. Listen, folks. I could be totally wrong, okay? It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I'm not the best. But on this macro stuff, I'm pretty in tune with it. Bitcoin is up 5% on the day. 5%. That is a great pump, okay? It's a great pump. But there are people calling for, like, new all-time highs. Like, the bottom is in, new all-time highs. Here we go. I'm like, are y'all smoking crack? Like, seriously. And maybe it does, but literally, what is this? Wednesday? Bitcoin is exactly where it was last Wednesday. And they're acting like we're at 100K. I'm like, bro, we were just there like 5 days ago. What do you mean? The bottom is in. Confirmed. Here we go. Okay. All right. Unfollow immediately. But here we are. That's the stuff you got to watch out for, guys. And those are the same people. I mean, same people that right here, when the bombs started dropping and price started dumping, said, here we go, sub 50K incoming. Like, no, bro, we literally just bounced the bottom of the triangle we've been in. Like, standard market move. But they were yelling for 50K incoming. We're going to take out the 60K lows. Here we go. So bearish. War is bearish. And this is the same guys right now calling for new all-time highs on this pump. Unfollow. They're either too dumb. I'm sorry, it's true. Or they're just looking for clicks. Or both. Probably both. We keep it real, though. We've been calling for 72.2 for a long time. Swoop of the highs, fractal play out, set in the bottom, trade the heck out of it. New bull run. All right? Disregard this timeline. That is not a correct timeline. That is just an illustration. Let's go look at the number of days. I did not update this from yesterday. Let's refresh. I still have my drawings on it. Let's refresh. We just want to look at the number of days. We are... I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. We do this every time. Just want to update the number of days. We are on day 41 from our bear leg cross, this red vertical line. We're 41 days. I'm not even going to bring up the other two charts here. 41 days. The last two times took 40 days and 48 days to reach the bottom. So doesn't mean it has to play out. We could sit right here for 6 months for all I know. I do not have a crystal ball. Jane might. You know, she's into all the hokey stuff. Her on West Coast. And all that hokey stuff. I need to ask her. She may have a crystal ball, but I don't mind the hokey stuff, guys. I just stick to technicals. Oh, speaking of which, Carrie Benz, we're a day early, bro, but you called the bull moon tomorrow. And look, we're a day ahead of time. I don't know if Carrie Benz is here right now. I talked to him earlier, though. I got to tell you about Carrie Benz. Great guy. Anyway, we're on day 41. It took 40 days and 48 days to reach the bottom. So if this kind of holds true, that gives us, you know, any day now, within the next week. The average here would be 44 days. So within the next few days to next week, let's just say next week, by the end of next week, we would expect to be at the bottom, okay? If this historical data is going to hold true, we would expect to be at the bottom. Now, that's plenty of time to do this. Boom, and then boom. We could do this today, guys. We could do this today and still be down here. So you could do something like this, bam, 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 and that's all she wrote. Lower high, boom. We would look to short this, not this. I will probably not short 72.2 unless we get a good 4-hour SFP. If not, in the past, let's go ahead and look in the past. I will show you that we did get a good opportunity to short it later. Okay, where is this? Here we go. Here's our section right here. So when you came and took the high, see, you set the high here, right? Came and set the high on the bounce. Got the bounce, set the high from the bounce, swooped it, came down, and then came back and got the old rope-a-dope, easy gimme short here. Where do we come to? Probably the 786. Yeah. Got a 786 pullback right there, and there's your short, okay? So unless you get a good confirmed, which you did here, you got a really strong confirmed swing failure pattern here. So this has been good short. Would have got a little scary on this retrace, but I would probably look to short the retrace, okay? We could definitely get there. Yeah, Thanos looking forward to the short. Listen, guys, I'll be honest. I will probably short both if we get a good, strong SFP, right? So let's look at the one we got last time. I am on the daily. Let's go to like the 4-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour. Because I really want to see this on the 4-hour for a short for myself. All right, here it is. It's kind of hard to see because I got a small screen here. Well, let me see if I can condense this a little bit. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Wrong screen. Sorry, guys. Amateur hour over here. All right, here we go. So this is the area we're looking at on the left, 4-hour. This was the last time we were in this area, right? Where was the high? So this was the bounce. This was the high. Let me mark out the high. I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for in case you guys are watching this on your own, okay? I would even want a daily on this, but I would basically just look for us to break back in this high. This would be your range, right? Your range high. So we're going to look for the, see how you got a purple vector candle? This is not ideal. I don't necessarily like this. I'll tell you what I like. So you did not, and this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, okay? So when we came up here, we took the high, right? There's the high. We set the high on the bounce, right? Follow me, guys. We set a low, then we had a bounce high, and then we bounced around, chopped around, right? Okay, so then we came, I'm going to move out of this, and you can see the orange line. That's where that high is, right? We came on the 4-hour time frame, and we took the high right here, okay? But we did not swing failure pattern. You don't even have to look back because I have the high marked out in orange, the orange line. Let me remove the fib. So you came down to the high, which was this orange line, and you bounced, okay? So no swing failure pattern. So you cannot trade this. A lot of people are going to try to trade this. And yeah, you could have made a little here, you know, it dropped down about $1,000. Yeah, you could have made a little there, but this is not the trade you're looking for, okay? You want a confirmed swing failure pattern, okay? Where did you get the confirmed swing failure pattern? So when this is mitigated, right? This orange line is mitigated. Remember price over there? When that is mitigated, pay attention, guys. I'm going to teach you something, guys. I do workshops on this. This is what I teach in the workshops, okay? So when that high is mitigated, this line moves, okay? So you have the opportunity when you mitigate it, whatever time frame you're trading. I'm on the 4-hour right now. We took the high, so within that candle or the next, in this case 4-hour, I want to see a swing failure pattern of that high, okay? So that is that candle or that candle. Neither one of them closed below the high, right? So therefore, that short trade is invalid to me. Other guys may teach you otherwise, but I'm teaching you how I do it. Okay, once it's invalidated, you have to move the high. You move to your new high, Okay, boom. This is your new high right here, right? Does that make sense? This is your new high because you did not swing fail pattern the other high within 2 candles of whatever time period you're trading on. On a big, I would call this medium time frame move, I want to see a little bit. This is a medium time frame move in a macro situation. This is a bear leg down macro situation on a medium term local time frame. This is a medium term local time frame on a more macro move. Okay, does that make sense? So being a little higher time frame stuff, I want to see at least a 4-hour here. Some people will jump the gun, and that's fine. If they get 1% more of this 30% move than I do, I don't care. If I get 29% and they get 30, good for them. I'll high-five them and give them a gold star. But I'm going to have a higher probability trade, okay? Okay, so once you did not SFP that line, all right, you didn't SFP it within 2 candles, so 2 4-hour periods, current and next, you move the line to the new high. And you wait to see if you SFP that. And what happened? Sure enough, when you finally came back up to it, I don't know, a day or so later, boom, you took the high, confirmed swing failure pattern on that candle. Remember, you could have swung it on that candle or the next candle. You got it on that candle, confirmed closure back below the high. That is your short trade, and it was a good one. Boom. Okay? It doesn't look like much, but let's see. I mean, that's a 9% move. That's a big move. And that's not all. You could have stayed in it and gotten the whole dang thing, guys. Gotten the whole dang thing. 45% move. Okay? I'm telling you guys, there is plenty to be made on this, what I believe, upcoming short trade. There is plenty. Wait for your high probability confirmations. Okay? Does that make sense? Wait for that. I'm going to be waiting. Me and the Anthony Lee Crypto crew are going to be waiting. Actually, some of the crew will probably do what they want to do. But I will post this trade, probably go live, when I see the confirmed 4-hour swing failure pattern. And if you front run it and you get wrecked, I don't want to hear it. And if you front run it and make 1% more than me, congratulations, I got a gold star I'm sending to you, okay? But I'm going to take the higher probability trade, and I hope that makes sense. If there's any questions as to how I'm going to get into that trade, you let me know. If you have any questions as to why I wouldn't short the first one, you let me know. If you have any questions as to why that is a good SFP and this one isn't, you let me know, okay? Now, for those of you that missed that, you're not good with SFPs, you don't understand, you almost always, not always, but you almost always get another shot at it, okay? Why is that? Well, because a lot of people FOMO in, right? You missed this because you whatever. You missed this, so you're like, oh, gosh, maybe it'll come back, maybe it'll come back, maybe it'll come back, maybe it'll come back. Gosh, it's not coming back. I'm going to short. And you hear about people shorting the bottom and getting trapped. So then they bring price back to here to wreck all the people that shorted this, right? So you almost always get another shot. Yeah, you get less of a percentage, but that's okay. You get an even higher probability trade. So then we fib from low to high. Boom. There's the high. Or excuse me, from high to low. There's the high, there's the low. And we look usually for golden pocket to 786 retracement is what we're going to look for usually. So it would be between here and here, right? This is what we would look for. Right there. I'll remove the fib now so you can see it. Boom. That's where we would draw a box. Worked out perfectly. So you could have got 45% from the top, but if you waited and got this 786, then you got 44%. That's what I'm telling you guys. Don't front run this stuff. The guy that shorted the top got 1% more than the guy that took the high probability trade. 1%. Plenty of opportunity to get in this trade. It's coming, guys. It's coming, and we will take this trade. We will get into this trade, and we will make a lot of money. And we will take the higher probability trade and give up the 1%. Okay? I don't care if we give up 2%. Because that's what we're expecting. We're expecting, where's our targets, guys? Where's our targets? There's our target. So if the high is 72, call it 72.5, really 72.2 to 72.5, If that's our high and we don't get into 71.5, so let's say 71.2, $1,000 less, we're still targeting 30+%. If you get 30% of this, don't be the guy that tries to get 32% and winds up getting wrecked. Get your higher probability trade, guys. And if you don't know how to do that, go to AnthonyLeeCrypto.com right now. Flash bang for the eyes. AnthonyCrypto.com right now. Join our VIP Discord. We have one-on-one mentorship programs, all sorts of trading stuff. But I will be giving you this trade when I take it. I will most likely, if I can, if I'm available, I'll have my alert set, so I'll definitely take it when it comes, if it comes. But if I'm available, I will go live for it and walk you through this in the VIP Discord, okay? I will not go public live. I will go VIP Discord live, just a perk of being in my crew. And we're going to take this trade, guys, just like we go live almost every morning, Monday through Friday, for the U.S. market open in the VIP Discord. We're going to take this trade, guys. And West Coast, please, bro, do you, not financial advice, but please don't let me find out we got in a 30% move and you closed it at 1%. Okay? Okay? Thanos says Babylon 2.0. Exactly. It's coming, guys. It's coming. I mean, I'm 99% sure it's coming. Could this time be different? Sure. But thus far, nothing about this has been different at all. Sugar-free monster. Got my Elvis hat on, guys. F-A-F-O Elvis. All right. West Coast promises. He said 1.5% instead. I hear you. I can't talk much. I closed this dang fetch trade too soon. I made $2,000, should have made $4,000. I can't complain, man. I'm up almost $50,000. I've shown you guys almost $50,000 in the last, what did we start this? February 1st? What did it say? March 2nd? 28 days, 29 days? Call it a month, 30 days. Almost 50 grand. That didn't include our leverage trades. We had like back-to-back $5,000 profit leverage trades. I showed you those. We are almost 50 grand up in spot Fetch AI and WorldCoin trades. Spot trade. And I understand I'm trading with a $150,000 account. Two different $70,000 to $75,000 accounts. I understand that's a lot of money, but still, up almost 50K out of 150K. Actually, it was 110 when I started, so up about 50%. That's a lot for 1 month. We dove in head first, okay? But you don't have long. People think, oh, the bear market lasts forever. Bear market. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Sure, the top of the bull market may be forever away, but your accumulation zone is not that far. I mean, it's really not. Because once you start the ride up, you can't keep trading like that. You can't do it. This was last cycle. This was the bull run. I'm on Fetch AI. This was the bull run right here, right? Boom. Your accumulation zone, the part we're trading right now, is only right here. That's it. That's it. You think this takes forever. You think it's forever down there because it's so damn boring. But it's not as long as you think. And then it's just kind of up, right? And look at the difference. I tried to explain this. I'm not sure I explained it well this morning, but I'm on the weekly. Let's just go to like the 3-day. And let's go look at this zone. This is very tradable. You get these big ups and downs. Each one of these candles is a big move. Let's just throw something on each one of these 3-day candles. So you got this one here. Boom. That's a 15% move. Just that little candle. That's a 15% move. 15%. So each one of these is 10 to 20%, right? You can make a lot because you can't do that here once you start the ascent up. Well, yes, it takes a while to get there. You can't do that, right? Because you can't sell. You can sell here. I could sell this 15%. Look, we hit that trade to that 15%. We turned around and dropped down 16% 2 days later. Right back to where you started. So I can buy, sell, accumulate here almost risk-free because I know we're not anywhere near to breaking out. But once you break out, you can't do that. Because if you caught, let's say, how much is this one? 27%. You can't sell that. Why? Okay, if you sold that and you want 27% back like you were getting, you actually got 5%, and then you ripped up another 100%. So you're left in the freaking dust unless you got lucky and rebought after a 5% drop, which nobody does. So what you have to do is just accumulate the heck out of stuff right here. Accumulate right where we're doing now. That's why I'm head first diving in. Here's where we are right now. I am dived all the way in trading, and I will trade this and accumulate. And then when you go up here, you just have to sit and let your profits right in. Then when you hit areas like this, you sell, okay? And you rebuy here. And you may not get the exact dollars, but let's say you're up 100 grand. I'm just making up numbers. Let's say you're up 100 grand here. You don't want to ride this down 40%. Like if your portfolio is 100 grand, you have to watch it go down 60 to 60 grand. That's $40,000 down before moving up. Now, yeah, you did eventually go way up higher, but why not add 40% more to your stack? So we wait on the bigger trades, which I have a way to find it. Well, how do you know, Anthony? How do you know this one right here? That pullback 6% is not going to be a bigger trade because I just know. I've been doing this a very long time, and I know what I'm looking for, okay? And more than anything, you got to watch Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin starts headed down, these are headed down. But our trades are going to be fewer and farther between. Yes, they're going to be bigger. Like today I don't even know what I made. What I make? 5%, 4%. Okay, great. So here, you're going to get a trade here, and that's 300%. Okay, so I'm going to ride up 300%, then I'm going to try to add 40% to my stack. Then ride up another 300%, add another 40 to my stack. Versus riding up 4%, 5%, coming back down 5%. Riding up 5%, coming back down 5%. So you have to do it now. If you're waiting until later to do these spot altcoin trades, you're going to miss it. Because this doesn't last as long as you think it lasts. Okay? And I lied to you. This is the area we're in now. Either way, it doesn't last as long as you think it's going to last. This should have been a good tradable area too. So you got this twice. Either way, my point is, we're up almost 50 grand in 1 month on freaking spot trades. I will take your alts. Show me your alts. Hit up the poll if you haven't already. By the way, I don't think Kerry Benz is on the stream. He was on this morning. I've been messaging back and forth with Kerry Benz. For those of you that missed it, this is important. I'm trading today on MEXC and KCEX, like always. I got the MEXC banner up top. You can see MEXCtrading.us. You do not have to be in the U.S. for this. Just get your account. Use that. And KCEXtrading.com. I've pinned it in the chat. If you get on our team, if you follow those links and get on our team, the Anthony Crypto team, and you get jammed up, you get frozen, you get restricted, you get any of those things, I have direct contacts there. I literally have their cell phone numbers. I text them, and I can get you unlocked like that most of the time, okay? Kerry Benz, he put this out there, so I'm not putting his business out there. He told us on a stream a little while ago. He got frozen for doing something, I don't know what. And I reached out to my guy, and he was like, bro, he's not on your affiliate team. I can't help him. He has to go through customer service. And it took him almost 2 months to get that unlocked that we could have gotten done in 2 days. Okay? I don't make anything extra off of you. I don't care. Just go to KCEXtrading.com or MEXCtrading.us. But you'll be placed on our team, and I can just help you. Okay? I've done this with several people in the past. I did this with Catherine one time. She got locked out. We're in the U.S. You know we're not supposed to trade in the U.S. She did not have her Palo ID like I do, or I register, and now I'm a legal trader because I'm a legal resident of the Republic of Palau, right? It's legit. It's legit. It's legit. But I just texted my guy. I was like, hey, bro, I got one of my team members. Didn't even say who she was. So I go, one of my team members. She's locked out. 24 hours later, unlocked. So get on our team, guys. I can help you, and I will help you as long as you're a part of our team. I would help you if you weren't a part of our team. I just can't because my guy is over affiliates and affiliate accounts. He's not over regular non-affiliated accounts. So he might could call somebody, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have the say. He doesn't click that button. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's take a look at the poll, guys. Let's see what you guys think. The question is this Bitcoin pump legit? 67% of you say fake outs. A third of you think 72.2 is incoming. I'll tell you what we did, guys. Look at what we've done. A whole lot of nothing. What have we done, guys? We have literally come up and dang it, sorry. We've literally come up, same thing we did the other day, and so far we have SFP'd the local value area range. We're back inside the range. We wicked above it, value area high, we're back in it now. We kind of front ran the macro buy bit, but guys, what do? We came right back to that dang red shaded box area. This has been on here, guys. For those of you who want my blind trades, just blind trading, look at how many times you would have had a successful trade here. Like, legit, look at how many times you would have had a successful trade here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Into the dang red shaded box. I told you guys this yesterday. We have now had 10, I'm on the daily wicks into the dang red shaded box. All of them rejected. Only one, the very first one, into the green shaded box with a big bounce. What does this mean, guys? What does this mean? If you know nothing about trading, technicals, any of that, what does this mean? You have a box of resistance and a box of support, right? You have to understand this because sometimes it is just that easy. Common sense. So you have a box of resistance. You have a box of support. You've had 10 touches into the box of resistance and 1 touch into the box of support. What does this mean? It means the bulls are not strong enough to push through this. And each time symmetrical triangle, which means descending pumps, right? Each one's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. It means the bulls are losing steam, guys. That's what it means. Yeah, the bears haven't been able to push it down, but when the bulls run out of steam, just by default, just like you get tired, they're going to have to rest, and the bears are fixing to get a shot, guys. I'm telling you. They've only had 1 shot here, so the bulls have been strong enough to keep it up. They've been strong enough to keep this line of support up. But they have had 10 attempts at breaking through the zone and haven't been able to do it. I'm telling you, the bears are fixing to get a shot. And then the bulls are going to have to step up down here. But the bears are fixing to get a shot because the bulls just, bullish exhaustion is what you're looking at. Okay? Buyer exhaustion. You probably heard that. Seller exhaustion, buyer. This is buyer exhaustion. Don't believe those people. I'm telling you, unfollow those people that are calling for 100K right now. And if I'm wrong, unfollow me. But I'm telling you, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just excited because there's a big green, my chart says white, big green candle right there. They're excited about that. But dudes, guys, girls, y'all, we're literally exactly where we were 5 days ago. And 5 days before that, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before. And they're freaking calling for all-time highs. What the heck, man? Let's go look at, we looked at Fetch already. Let's look at it again. I have not shown, well, I showed this yesterday. But check out, I want to show you something I want to add to this. check. This is fetch. Look, I could rebuy right now and have more coins than I had this morning. Check out the freaking fractal here. Thanos, I'm glad you said that. West Coast, Joe, you still here, bro? Lucas, you still here, man? Got somebody talking about the moon. Joe gave me some good moon info the other day. We're about to find out, too. We're about to find out. I think in the next, 9 days? I think it was. So I'll have to go look. We're about to find out. I'm going to tell you guys that in a second. But look at this fractal. West Coast still here. He knows what I'm going with this. Check out this fractal. Check out this freaking fractal for Fetch AI. Let me show you. Let me go back. Let me split screen this. I want to show you something. But look how exact this is. It looks like a big old freaking stiletto, doesn't it? I probably got some people like, what is he talking about now? Stiletto. Look at that stiletto, guys. Look at that stiletto. Price comes down, price bounces up, price rolls right off the toe. Looks like a stiletto, guys. Looks just like this fractal. Now, I got the fractal drawn as a descending triangle, but it's really not. So the bars pattern is on a closing basis, okay? I'm going to split screen this real quick. The bars pattern is on a closing basis. But I want to show you this, which makes it even more legit to me. First of all, I think it's legit, period, but... Uh-oh. All right, so let's travel back in time. I'm on the daily. Let's go to the daily. Let's travel back in time. Here's that same pattern right here. Okay, we're right here. Right here, okay? That's the same fractal that I took from, but look what it really is, guys. It is a triangle. Right? And if I were to move this blue one on the left, you can actually see that that's really what it is. But on a closing basis, it is a descending triangle. This thing breaks to the downside, guys. This thing breaks to the downside. And we're getting close. We're getting close. I mean, there's just no denying how dang near exact this looks. There's no denying. I mean, each candle doesn't mark up candle for candle, right? Some are a little taller, some are a little shorter. But the structure is exact. As exact as you're going to get. Right, even to the point of here you broke out the bottom of it and then bounced up. Just like here, broke out of the bottom of it and bounced up. So we could be in here a few more days before ultimately breaking down. Don't FOMO in. I bet you some of you FOMO'd in on this pump today. And look, we're already right back to where we started the day at. Up 1%. So don't FOMO, guys. Any alts you guys want to take a look at? Let's go back to Discord. Let's see if I can find this. I don't really remember what channel he posted in. Probably the Bitcoin channel. Sorry, I'm showing you guys info. So there's this thing called the Poots or Putts crash window. I've never heard of it. supposedly, and we're going to find out within the next week or so. Supposedly, there's a theory suggests that significant stock market crashes occur within a specific time frame around lunar and solar eclipses, particularly after a full moon that follows a solar eclipse. So we had a solar eclipse last week, and now we have a full moon. Did I say that right? Okay, yeah. Had a solar eclipse last week, and now we have a full moon or bull moon that occurs tomorrow. So if this concept is accurate, this could apply, okay? And I wanted to read this. Let's see. The window is defined as the period from 6 days before to 3 days after the full moon. So this could happen within the next 4 days, okay? Next 4 days, which is kind of what I've been calling for, but not because of this. I've been saying by Thursday this triangle should break out. So 6 days before, which we've already missed, to 3 days after. So we're 1 day before now, and we have 3 more days after. So sometime this week, we should be getting a crash according to this. However, you guys know Catherine is our resident astrologer. I don't get into the hokey stuff, but she has her 140K sub channel on it, and she suggested that this can't possibly be correct the way it's worded. And I read the article, not just what I read the whole article, because he talks about there being and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but how there's solar eclipses between 2 and 5 of those per year. Okay, and I think he went back and studied like 8 major crashes, 6 or 8 major crashes, all the biggies in history, I think. Not just Bitcoin, the major stock markets, but there were 6 or 8 of them, and she said there's 2 to 5 solar eclipses per year, and each of those have a full moon with them, each of them. So if there's, let's say that 2 to 5, 2 to 6, let's say that it's an average of 4 per year, and he only studied 8 major crashes, well, that is an extremely low percentage, because over the last 10 years, that means we've had about 40 of these. That's just 10 years, much less the 100 plus years of the stock market. That's just very low percentage. So she said, and I did not go back test this. I think I went and looked at 1 or 2, that it's more likely what's called a total solar eclipse, which only happens once every few years. You get one of those. And if you get a full moon within one of those total solar eclipses, that is more likely. And I did go look up the last total solar eclipse that we had, and we got the full moon that followed that, and it was a massive dump. So I think maybe if this hokey stuff is to be applicable, it's going to apply towards a total solar eclipse. And the next total solar eclipse we get is in August. So if this Putz window thing is legit, I would look more for this to play out in August with the total solar eclipse and the full moon that follows. That's just our opinion, and I got that from resident astrologer expert Jane. I don't know. I don't really know. I really don't know. That's not my forte. All I know is we have a full moon tomorrow, also known as a bull moon. Speaking of which, how did the bear moon play out, guys? Let's see how the bear moon played out. Perfectly. You see the blue, that's the bear moon. We called for that. We always call for that, though. Big old almost 10% move to the downside. We'll have the bull moon tomorrow. Could pump us up to that 72.2. Could roll right back over. We don't know. All right, here comes Jane. She said, here's Jane. You see the big white check mark? That means 100,000 plus subscribers. Our resident astrologer and moon experts. You said all that correct. Yes, every solar eclipse is paired with a lunar eclipse, and it happens at least twice a year. Okay, and then there's the thing called the total solar eclipse, right? The total, that's only once every few years, and that statistically would line up better with what the Putz guy is talking about. Because if he's trying to say there have been 8 major collapses and that they coincide with regular eclipses followed by the bull moon, then that would be extreme low probability, like less than 5% chance of that happening. But if it paired with the total solar eclipse, was only once every 3 years-ish, that would be a very high percentage statistic. So, yeah. We'll see, West Coast. It's very interesting. I'm intrigued, and I'm going to watch it. But if I were a betting man, I would bet that he really meant the total solar eclipse. Here we go. Yes, it indicates the level of coverage. Total eclipse is a total shadow coverage moon over the sun, which is more rare. And I did go look up the last total solar eclipse and full moon, and it was a big major market crash. Big one. So the next one of those is coming up in August. If that's what Putz meant, that would give him a high probability statistic on that crash. Low probability if it's the ones we get several times a year. All right, nobody wants to look at any alts today. That's cool. One more chart I want to show you. We went over this yesterday, August 12th, she said. We went over this yesterday on the stream. Here are our March stats, okay? A lot of people don't believe in these stats. Well, you're at a loss if you don't. Hang on, somebody's texting me. I got a guy. I won't say that I do this. Maybe, perhaps, I do some trading for some people locally here who may or may not entrust me with some of their dollars, and then I trade and take 10% off and give them their massive freaking profits. Basically, they copy trade me, but I do it for them because they don't know how to trade. Maybe, allegedly. Anyway, I may have made 50 grand for someone, and they have my 5 grand, my 10%. Maybe. I may do that for some folks. I could have quit my job a long time ago with just trading for folks and taking 10% of their profit as much as we do. Uh-oh, Fetch AI doing a little something. Anyway, let's look at these March stats. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to show all the stats here. I've done it. I did it yesterday. Go watch the video. But every month I show historical data for how Bitcoin has performed on a monthly statistical basis. The average high date, average low date, average wick high, low, close, open, everything. And we try to find a trend, okay? Obviously, everything's not going to be exact, but we try to find, is there a trend one way or the other, okay? Some months there are, some months there aren't. There is a very, very clear trend to March. Very clear trend. It's a very clear trend here. Let's look at previous ones that we gave you. Let me erase this. So this was the last one we gave you. And the arrow starts, ignore the timeline, or the boxes, how far they extend out. That's just for illustration so you can clearly see them. Obviously, the month of February is much shorter than that. But I started my arrows at the beginning of the month. This was actually on January 31st. That's when I did the stream, and I drew the arrow that we were expecting this. And then statistically, it called for a move down to the green box, but I extended this yellow line. This green line was not extended all the way over. It did now that the month is closed. That's the 55 monthly. I drew the yellow line. The green line was stopped there, and I drew the yellow line and said, but I believe we go here. And that's exactly where we went to. So statistically, we went right to the box here that I drew and then right to the yellow line. So spot on, and I did nothing but look at historical data on Bitcoin for the month of February to determine this, okay? And we were able to nail this, okay? Let's look at January. January, we nailed this candle that I drew is on December 31st. Go look at the stream. I drew this. Go watch it if you don't believe me. These are the boxes we were looking for. Boom, we nailed them both. I mean, to a freaking T nailed these, okay? We were looking for the move up, then the move down, okay? December we nailed, but I didn't draw boxes. December was the first month I started bringing you guys these stats, so I just drew this. I said we were looking for, and where does December start? Let me see. December 1st, right there. I said we were looking for a move down in the first week of 5 to 7%. Okay, I just want you guys to understand how powerful these stats are. And on day freaking 1, we got 4.68% down. And that was your low. Okay, I said we were looking for that move down 5 to 7 8%. And then we'd be looking for a move of high of 5 to 7%. Okay, you can read it right there. High of 5 to 7%. And we got a high of 8.3%. So spot on, guys. I did nothing. No other TA. I just looked at historical data. Okay. So now that you've seen that, here's what I have for you from March. Okay. The average high and low, again, average. Some months went higher, some months not as high, some months not as high. Same with the low side. But the average was about, I'm not about to pull up all the stats. Watch yesterday's or be in the Discord. Was about 13% to upside and downside, about 13%. That's irrelevant to me. The key trend that I found in the month of March was 100% of the time. 100. Now, it doesn't mean it has to play out that way, but thus far in how many years is it? 14, 15 years of Bitcoin? This stat is 100%. If you open up the month to the upside, and I don't count yesterday even though it was the first, it was the weekend. Today's the first real day of the month. 100% if you open up, and we're not even closed today, so I don't know how it's going to close. That's what matters. If you open up to the upside 100% of the time, you close the month negatively, okay? Okay, so if in the first, in that high came within the first week of the month, 100% of the time when you open up and set the high in the first week, you close negative. So it would look like that. Open up high. It doesn't have to go that high, or it could go higher, but 100% of the time you close negative. Okay? 100%. Also, on the flip side, 100% of the time, if you open the month down and set the low in the first week, 100% of the time you close the month positively. Okay? That is the trend that I'm concerned with. So if you didn't take the long today, that is okay. And it doesn't have to work out this way just because it always has. But if you're betting against a 100% stat, then you're going to get wrecked eventually, okay? Yeah, it may not be 100% forever, but if you, it drives me crazy, people. I see guys who will all freaking day long take 50-50 trades. 50-50 probability, but I will tell them this is a 95% probability and they won't take it. Is it just not exciting enough for you? Does it not get your motor revving? I mean, what? I don't understand. You'll take 50-50s like they're going out of style, but you get 100% stat and people won't take the trade. It's crazy to me. It's crazy, but it's true, and you know it. You guys have done it. You know it. So if we open up in these first couple days to the upside, don't FOMO in, because 100% of the time it has been a negative closing month. And what does that mean? That means we start looking for shorts. We start looking for shorts because we know historically 100% of the time you're going to get a good short trade down, and we're going to make our dollar bills right here. So don't FOMO in. You ain't missing nothing. In fact, what it means is the bigger trade is upcoming, okay? So that is the trend for March. Regardless of where it tops out or bottoms out in, that is the trend, and I will play that trend. It just so happens to go in line with the other technicals that we're looking for, okay? So all of it's lining up. The only thing not lining up is that damn bull moon tomorrow. That's it. That's it. And actually even that is, because that'll give you a little pump up for a couple days before rolling back over. Because you'll get the bear moon in 2 more weeks, which would bring you down for the second half of the month. So it's actually all lining up. Get in the Discord. We're going to take this trade. I liked it. Thanos' Babylon 2.0. You're 100% correct. We're looking for a 30% move. 100%. Revamp. My man says, kindly like and subscribe and share with your community. Guy works really hard and needs to be appreciated. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. Hogborn says, yes, he's one of the best. Thank you. Thanos, West Coast, Jane Hogborn, all of you guys are awesome. Thanos. I saw you yesterday. I saw you on another channel yesterday. I saw you. I'll spill the. I saw you on Jane's channel. I was watching. I pay attention sometimes. Actually, she told me. She's like, she thought it was so cool. Like, Thanos was on my channel. I was like, he's on mine too. Jane, the Shemitah. Do you see? Yeah, the Shemitah. Hey guys, we're gonna talk about the Shemitah. I've done enough of that stuff today. I gotta go. I gotta go meet my guy and collect my $5,000, maybe allegedly, from my. I trade. I did tell you guys. I do some trading for some folks who just can't do it themselves. Maybe allegedly. Cute Gemini, watching for the first time. Thanks for being here. Glad you're here. Yeah, Jane, the Shemitah, Jane International, the Shemitah. We're going to talk about Shemitah, guys. I'm going to blow your socks away when I bring out the Shemitah, guys. I'm telling you. I put it in Discord the other day. Some folks kind of maybe heard of it. I'd be interested to see if you went and back tested it. I'm telling you. And what's going to be really curious, first of all, guys, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not calling super cycle. We're not going up right now. We're going down first, in my opinion. Maybe not today, but we're going down in the next few weeks before we go up. I think this is an early cycle. I think we get an early bull run. I think we're out of this cycle before most people suspect this is even scheduled to happen. I think the cycle is over. Okay, I'm calling for that. And one of the reasons I was calling for that before I realized this past weekend when I was talking to West Coast in Discord, I've been calling for that before I even realized the Shemitah lines up. So at the time, we get the halving coming up in a couple years, right? And about 6 months or so later, usually when the bull run kicks off, after the halving, kind of around the halving in the next 6 months to a year, well, that's going to be in the middle of the Shemitah, which says that we crash, which means one of two things. Either number one, we don't get a bull run at all. If the Shemitah plays out, that means we don't get a bull run at all, or we get it early. And I've been saying for other reasons, I think we get an early cycle here, not to mention the fact that I think we bottom in the next couple weeks, which normally every other time we would have bottomed in October or November. But we're going to be a good 7-8 months ahead of schedule, in my opinion, which means I think the bull run kicks off 7-8 months ahead of schedule, which means the bull run is going to be over. When most people, if they were looking at the calendar now, would say this is when the bull run starts. I think it's over by then, and a lot of people are going to miss out because they're going to hold out thinking we got lower coming. The low's coming in November. It always does. And we're going to be ripping and roaring by November, guys. I'm telling you, you need to be accumulating now. I'm telling you. I could be wrong, but I believe it. And if for no other reason, I'm a believer. You guys know I'm a believer. I talk about the Lord, praise the Lord, love. But we're going to talk about the Shemitah and go back test it, okay? Go back test it. I don't mean just on Bitcoin. Go back test it in the entire stock market, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh. We got to be out of Bitcoin by the time the Shemitah comes. And that's when every other influencer is going to be telling you the bull run's going to be kicking off. And I'm telling you it's going to be over. And people are going to get wrecked. You heard it here first. What? Thanos says he's been watching Jane for years. Best astrologer. Jane says, we see you, Thanos. I didn't know you've been watching Jane for years. You didn't even know. She's been sitting right here on the couch next to me the entire time. Had no idea, bro. That's so funny. Small world. When is this? When's the next Shemitah? I put it out there. It's in. The Shemitah will be September of 2028 through September of 2029. And the halving will be right there in I don't know the exact date, April, May, March, sometime in that first quarter-ish of 2028, right? It'll be the halving. And so, usually that kind of starts a little small trickle up. And then going into the fall, winter is usually when you start to get the good run up for about a year. I'm saying it's going to be over. It's going to be over. You're going to top out in September. You will top. Bitcoin will top. The major market, all of that will top in September of 2028. I'm telling you right now. Telling you. Position yourself for this. Don't think you've got all these extra months like you always have in the past. I don't believe it's fixing to go down that way. I'm not calling for a super cycle, but I do think we have a sped up cycle. I think you're fixing to see some changes. Now listen, I hate the institution crap. It's crap. Y'all know that. I don't want to get on the soapbox. But I do think the game has changed with them evolved. They don't play by some 4-year halving cycle rules, right? They're not interested in waiting around 4 years, 8 years. They like to make money, okay? And what they do is they can easily instill fear or FOMO in a market by buying a good chunk to make price go boom, and everybody else FOMOs in. Or they can sell a good chunk and everybody panic sells. So they can generate a bull or bear market at any point in time they want. Don't get it twisted and think they can't. So if they want to speed this cycle up for whatever narrative or whatever reason they want, they can easily do that by inducing fear into us that we're missing out, FOMO, okay? And I just think that is going to be the difference in the institutions involved. And I don't think because they're involved, price can't go down. They've clearly shown they will dump on you in a heartbeat. They will also pump on you in a heartbeat, okay? And I think you're fixing to see that. That's going to be the institutional involvement that is the difference. Not that price can't go down because they're involved. That's dumb. It's that it can go down very far, very fast, or go up very far, very fast when they step up and make buys or sells. So that is just my opinion. Yeah, Thanos, that's right. Jewish New Year, September 28th, sell everything. 100% agreed. I had heard of Shemitah. The last one was 2021 to 2022. I'd heard of it. And I'd back tested it, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, but I had never lived through it. Well, I had, but I wasn't in the market then or didn't know about it. But I could see it on the chart. And then when I lived through it in 2021, 2022, and I watched it, I was like, oh, my gosh. I swore I was trading with a couple guys in. I said, I don't care. I said, when September 2028 rolls around, I will sell every single asset that I have and sit out for 1 year. I was like, yeah, I see it on the chart in the past, but I am watching it real time right now, and it is crazy. So that's good news for those of you that don't want to wait another 4 years for the top. Like, in my opinion, we are going to be at the top in 2.5 years from right now. And I think you got about 6, 7 months, 5 to 7 months here to accumulate as many altcoins, as much Bitcoin, whatever strikes your fancy. You got about 5 to 6 months before. I'm not saying you're fixing to go parabolic then, but before you start to move up and out of there. All right, and then sometime around halving, you're going to start to get a big parabolic boom. And everybody's going to think, you get that first run up, and then you're going to come down, and then Bitcoin always comes back for that second run all-time high. You're just not going to get that second run up, in my opinion. It's just going to keep coming down and coming down. And people are going to be, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Oh, shit. It's Shemitah. That's my opinion. So, all right, guys. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how West Coast's Putz's theory plays out. We'll see how the bull moon plays out. All of this happening this week. You know where we stand on it, guys. We just covered. We're back inside the range. Could we get the move up here? Yes. Will we? I don't know. I'm so torn on this now. I am so torn on whether or not we get that move up there. But we are showing, don't get it twisted, we are showing major weakness here. 10 touches into this red box. 10 daily touches into this red box. Unable to push through it. 1 touch in the green box. We've only had 1 crack at it down here. Buyer exhaustion. Either way, in my opinion, this is a fake out. Whether we roll over here or we come up here and roll over, this is a fake out. Historical March stats support this. Showed you all that on the stream today, so we will check back. We expect all of this to be resolved this week. Maybe not the bottom this week, but whatever you're going to do up here should be over by Thursday. Okay? All right. That's it for me, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Praise the Lord. He is good. We made $2,000 by 9 o'clock this morning. It's a good day. Back for VIP Discord trading tomorrow morning for the U.S. Open. We'll be on our game now that we realize this war stuff is not going to affect unless something else happens globally with the war, or a major player gets in, or they start threatening this or that and stop export and import, whatever. Unless something like that happens, it is business as usual.